you ever wondered why when your church become a 1,000 congregation, you can pray like you used to pray? Every time your devotional life is down, you lose that. Because God speaks. He's always talking. You know, I'm going to feel the fire. Help me, sir. Thank you. For every time he speaks, he gives you new information. He wants you to access new data from him. When you study the word of God, you are absorbing the Spirit of God. I don't know about you, but the most sacred moments of my life are the times I stay on the word of God. I stay on this word of God and I read them. I read the chapters. I read the verses. Even when it feels like they mean nothing to my understanding at that moment, I keep reading them because the more I read them, the more of his Spirit I absorb. Oh, for my mouth he had commanded, and his Spirit he had gathered them. The life of devotion. You know, it's so easy to get popular. And I'm going to explain that. You can do something very notorious and become popular. You can do something very terrible and become headlines in the news, on the pages of our papers. You know where I come from? We got all kinds of junkies going on in ministry. But you see, they all have their lifespan. It will soon be over. When they have come and gone, some of us who were slow will still be steady. Are you following what I'm saying? When you study the word of God, you are absorbing the Spirit of God. God does nothing without his word. He does nothing. In the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. So what John was describing in chapter 1 and verse 1 was not just the potency of the word, but the power, the importance, and the role the word played in Genesis chapter 1. So that even when he said, and the word was made flesh and dwelt amongst us, it dwelt amongst us after it had played the role of creation. All things were made by the word, and without the word, nothing made was made. In the word was life. In him was life, and that life was what gave light to men. So when Jesus showed up in John chapter 6 and said to them, except you eat of this body and drink of this blood, my life does not abide in you. They did not understand. They thought he was talking about cannibalism. But he meant that except you live on this word, and this word lives in you, there is an exchange of life by the word. You may not experience his power. When you study the word, you absorb the Spirit of God. When you pray, you absorb the presence of God. So it's beyond the issue of stamina. It has to do It also has to do with staying relevant, staying long for a long time. A priest without an incense is like a leader without a devotional life. A priest without an incense is like a pastor. You know, when I talk leadership, I always tell us that no church can ever grow bigger than its leadership. It doesn't matter how you act, it doesn't matter